Welcome, everybody, to the 10 Count Podcast brought to you by Bodyslam.net. It's your boy Ty, it's your boy Justin, and we are late on a Friday. It is almost 10 p.m. on the East Coast where we're at, so we're catering to you West Coast folks this week. Matt, with the appreciate you tuning in on our Friday night with the boys. I'm excited. We have SmackDown going live right now, so we can actively respond to what's happening on SmackDown. This week has been insane for me. I had a sick wife and a newborn to take care of, all while working. And it's been crazy. My brain's a little frazzled, but here we are. And I apologize for any internet issues because that's been happening too. But Justin, how we doing? The week's at a close. The weekend's right here. And how's your Friday? How's your Friday night going?
It's been a week for me too, brother. My son has a double ear infection. He's, coming out of it now a little bit after getting some antibiotics in him. I think we're frozen, or you're frozen, or I'm frozen. I don't know what's going on right now, but we're good now. I see you. Good, dude. Dad life really got to both of us this week. So we weren't here on Wednesday. We weren't here yesterday, but by God, we are here tonight on a Friday night during SmackDown. So I'll have to watch SmackDown once this is over.
Yeah. I mean, the thing that I kind of want to just dive right into, because I always got to talk about it, is we have our main event for WrestleMania this year in Vegas. We have Roman Reigns, CM Punk, and everyone was talking about how amazing their promos back and forth were. It was phenomenal on both sides. I'm sold on this main event. However, here's my what if. They announced this the Monday after the Royal Rumble, we have until April. We have 2 whole months until WrestleMania. How often is Roman going to be here? How often is CM Punk going to be carrying the weight of this feud leading to WrestleMania? Because if we get part-time Joe over here, it's not going to be that thrilling. The event itself, the match itself, yeah, sure, it writes itself, right? We have the same storyline with Seth. They hate him. They hate Punk because he left them and they left all this stuff. They had the podcast and Roman had to clean up his mess and Seth had to clean up his mess. Now we've seen what's happened with Seth. Now we're kind of, because Seth's injured, in my opinion, they're rolling forward with, hey, we can throw Roman in the same storyline and it works. And here we are. But are you afraid, Justin, that our boy Joe Anoa'i, I don't know how to say the last name, I'm not going to butcher it, but Roman Reigns, are you afraid that he's not going to show up a lot leading to this WrestleMania match?
I'm not afraid. We've seen Cody do it, right? We've seen Cody carry his rivalry with Roman. We've seen this on several occasions where it ends up being fine because, truth be told, Roman's a goddamn good worker. Roman, when he shows up, he's gravitating. People gravitate towards Roman Reigns. He's great on the mic. I thought it was one of his best promos on Monday night by far. Like that promo was incredible. RIP to the Zebros. I miss the Zebros. That really didn't last very long. I don't think I'm nervous because even like him on the Pat McAfee show right before the Rumble, he kind of buried creative. I don't know if it was all a work or whatnot, but he said, listen, I've been at this for how long, and I've been away for a little bit, and no one wants to step up and become a star. So here I am, I'm coming back. And he said he was here to change the game again. He wins, and I think he'll be around. I don't think I'm worried. Yeah.
Hey, Matt. Yeah. Hey, Matt. He says, we talking about Royal Rumble tonight, or do we miss a show? Justin and I did a quick count on Sunday talking about the Rumble. I know you're saying you're kind of let down as far as surprise entrances. Yeah, I mean, we spoke about that. The biggest surprise was, Brie Bella, which she had a great reaction when she came out. We also spoke about how, like, we don't consider NXT people surprises, to me, and I think to you, Justin, is they're a part of WWE. They're part of the brand. They're the most watched show of the three, in our opinions. So yeah, it was kind of lackluster with this. But the other problem I have, not the only, obviously I have problems. So like, I'm a Roman hater. It's like it doesn't show. But my other problem is this: if he doesn't show up and he wins a championship and doesn't show up, we're back to square one. We're back to why we created that championship. And to me, on the other side of the ladder, I think if Roman shows up every week, I think people will get bored of him. I think that's why they keep him part-time. I think that's why they keep him a spectacle. That's why every time he shows up for a PLE, the next night on Raw, he gets beat down by the Vision and comes back 2-3 months later. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he could prove me wrong and show up every week for a year and see how the fans rally behind you all this time. But in my opinion, I think if they see him all the time, they'll get bored.
I don't know about that. I mean, I feel like we're having a conversation that, like, after like you just saying that about like the fans being bored. Like, I feel like I had this exact conversation with you in court maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago, where I said,
not full time.
I get that, and I listen. I think Roman's deserved what he's gotten contract wise. He did. He worked his ass off for a few years, and he became what he is, and he got a part-time contract, and that's the way of the road. But when he does show up, he's there, and I don't know. I think if he was here weekly, I think he would be as over as he is currently.
Okay, fair.
I mean, that's why, hey, we always say, like, I agree to disagree, and that's why I love doing this, because I think if he was here weekly, he'd still be getting the same exact pop.
I think if Cody Rhodes showed up randomly like that, he'd get the same pop. I mean, it happens. When he got injured, comes back, what do people do? Go crazy. When he was gone doing Street Fighter and came back, people were happy to see him. I think if you take people and you make them these part-timers, people are excited to see Brock. And most of us don't even give a shit anymore. But when he shows up in an arena, they go fucking nuts. So I think it's the same thing with Roman. I mean, like I said, Roman Reigns, prove me wrong. If you win the championship, WrestleMania this year, April, show up the whole year, every week, every Monday, be the world heavyweight champion, do your thing. I mean, hey, that's all I'm saying. I want to see if you keep that island of relevancy cooking or not.
I mean, with his contract, I don't know why that pulled back up, but he's not going to. He'll be a part-time champion like we've seen for several years. I think Punk wins. I mean, if we're looking that far ahead, I have CM Punk winning his big main event finally at WrestleMania.
Huh. Maybe they just want Roman for the big draw, which makes sense. But how do you have your big draw kind of? I guess he won the Rumble, but how do you have him lose to Bronson Reed to lose? And I think they lost the tag match, didn't they? To Bronson, the two Bronze. But so for me, I don't know. Does Roman lose again? And then you start making him lose all the time, and then he becomes less relevant. It's just, to me, they're in a like a rock and a hard place kind of deal right now, Roman. Why would you have him lose if you're bringing him back? A huge main event. And then when does he show up again? SummerSlam to what? Lose again? To me, that's going to get stale.
Well, I mean, I feel like they pivoted on Cody, like Drew beating Cody, just because they realized we don't think the people want to see Roman and Cody again, which I mean is right. Thank God that they made that pivot. Number one, because Drew deserves it. And number two, I would like to see Cody work his way towards, getting something again. And I'm sure SmackDown is on right now. I don't know if we're going to see Cody and Drew have a conversation. I don't know if it already happened. I'm watching SmackDown afterwards. So, I mean, if anyone in the chat wants to let me know if anything's going on with Cody and Drew, feel free to let us know. Yeah. But I feel like it's going to be a triple threat, Drew, Jacob, and Cody for Drew's title. And then you got Punk and Roman, which I think it just works out best because who the hell wants to see Cody and Roman again? No.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to see Punk and Roman, honestly. I'm excited for the match. I get annoyed with how is not around, I guess. But Stussy says the first time the new world title actually main events WrestleMania. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's they want to push this championship. They want to push this title. And they're definitely doing that with this match. And you also said if the direction is a triple threat, I'm really curious how they get to it with the chamber in the way. So with SmackDown, Drew was going to start off the show. Cody beat him down, told everyone why, he's nicknamed Raheem. And then had an altercation, not full altercation, but with Nick Aldis, who said, you need to calm down. You have an elimination chamber qualifier next week. And if you don't cool your jets, we'll have to see what happens about that. So what I think is going to happen is Cody's not going to cool his jets next week. For a big or is that that Drew screws Cody again, and Jacob Fatu ends up winning the Elimination Chamber since Cody's not in it, and Cody gets in because Drew kept screwing him. And that's how we get the triple threat. That's what I'm seeing in my vision.
Yeah, no, they can definitely find a way to a triple threat. I feel like that's not a big issue at all. Especially, I mean, they can even pull it at the Elimination Chamber if they have to. They can, someone just gets involved somewhere where they're not supposed to, and it just turns into Nick Aldis saying, all right, I'm tired of this. It's you versus you in a triple threat for the world title at WrestleMania. Done. I'm not worried about how they get there. I'm not worried about how they get to that at all. I am more curious to see if that's the route they're going to go, because after the Rumble, you see Drew come out. He gives a Claymore to Cody. That's how Cody gets eliminated. So Jacob is kind of still there, just whatever. I know Jacob still thinks that it's Drew that attacked him, which I'm hoping that we get the resolution to that, and then we just go into a whole triple threat thing. Stussy on YouTube Will they do the classic someone signing their name onto a contract for a match they're not involved in? Well, us, Drew said it. Us Americans, we don't read the fine print. We don't read it all. I think that's what Drew McIntyre said. It can absolutely be plausible. I can totally see that being a thing. I feel like they're gonna, for those three, it's gonna be more of the physical altercations that are going to give Nick Aldis no choice but to make this a triple threat.
Yeah, I think so too. And I'm here for it, man. And I honestly, I think I don't know if people want to see Cody win again this soon, but I'm fair with all three of those men winning. I think it'd be awesome to see Jacob Fatu as champion. Of course, I'd love to see Drew continue his reign, but I'm not a Cody hater. I don't mind him having the championship. I think people are way too hard on him in a case, but rightfully so. You have your opinion. You can want what you want, right? I'm a Roman hater. A lot of people love Roman. I know people are Cody haters. I like Cody. But yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing any of those three men walk out of WrestleMania as champion.
Yeah, I have nothing to argue there, because let me ask you, are you more anticipating this Drew, Cody, possibly Jacob triple threat? Or, I mean, you're a CM Punk fan, so I'm assuming you're going to go Punk Roman, but which match intrigues you more?
Punk Roman, 100%.
Punk Roman.
I mean, it's, Drew, Jacob, and Cody, or Drew, Cody, whatever it's going to be, or Drew, Jacob. It'll be fun, right? Drew has been a star the last 5-6 years. He's been carrying a lot of, feuds on his back. He's very entertaining. From a Drew McIntyre segment or post. So, I love what he's doing, but I'm excited the most for CM Punk, Roman Reigns. These are matches that I wish we saw 5 years ago, 6 years ago, when CM Punk stepped away. So it's nice to see these. I wish they were during Punk's prime. Obviously, Punk's getting older. He can still, hang in there and go. He's still amazing on the mic. You can't take that away from him. But I would have loved to see a more in-prime CM Punk wrestle a Seth Rollins, wrestle a younger Roman Reigns. I think that would have been awesome. And Boris on YouTube, Cody should do the right thing and lay down for his tribal chief. We ain't laying down to no tribal chief. We keep the ones down for the tribal chief. Well, not Justin, but for me, I keep the ones down. And claim to fame, at WrestleMania 40, your boy had his thumb down the whole time during everyone's little ones to the sky. Stussy, Drew's come a long way. I was starting to think his new gimmick is that he gets rolled up and gets angry afterwards. It was looking like that, man. And if Cody and Drew didn't get their way with creative, it might still be that way, which is crazy. So I am happy that Drew has the championship right now. And hell, have carry past WrestleMania. I'm not mad at that. Boris, again, Roman needs that pin back, bro.
Yeah, they'll have time with Roman and Cody. I don't want to see that for quite some time, honestly. We've done it. We've done it on the big stage twice already. I'm glad, like we just said earlier, I'm glad they made the pivot to making Drew champion and having Cody drop the title, just because, like I said, Drew deserves it. And if we saw Cody and Roman again, I would be so turned off.
Stussy knows. I'm a Rock guy, but Cody does need his pin back from The Rock. Love to see it. I would also love to see, which we'll never get it because he retired, but we never had a John Cena Rock 3. There was no rubber match between those two. And honestly, man, I'm glad there wasn't, because John Cena probably won it. So
I mean, retired. Hey, apparently for WrestleMania in Saudi, that Saudi wants The Rock. Saudi's willing to pay big bucks, apparently, allegedly, to get The Rock in action. So could we see Cody versus The Rock in 2 WrestleManias from now? Maybe.
I'd be happy with that. I'd be for it. I tell Court she'd have to buy us tickets to go, because obviously we gotta see our boys feud.
Yeah, have fun with that 16-hour flight, dude. You can do that one. You guys go on that solo trip, that trip by yourselves. I ain't touching that trip with the 10-foot pole. But what do you think about speaking about Monday Night Raw, and let's get back to Raw. What do you feel about Liv Morgan kind of coming out? Obviously, the return of Dirty Dom. Dirty Dom's back on TV. How do you feel about Liv kind of scoping out her options right now?
Yeah, I think we're going to see some cracks very, very soon in the Judgment Day walls. I think Raquel's going to start getting pissed because not only did Liv get involved, Roxanne Perez got involved. And honestly, man, I was kind of hoping that Raquel would have won the world title and Liv pulled the Batista thing and sign the contract to fight Raquel for the world title at WrestleMania. That to me would have been epic. But I honestly think she's going to go for Stephanie Vaquer. I think that's going to be the route. I'm still holding out that it's going to be Bianca and Jade at WrestleMania for the Women's WWE Championship. So I feel like Liv's got to go for the world title. That was her former championship. She wants that back. She wants to, run Raw. So, yeah, I think at the end of the day, we're going to see Liv versus Stephanie Vaquer.
And then we got Boris again. The Rock's work was done, LOL. And then Stussy. Rock really got what he wanted at 40, got to pin Cody in the main event, and stood tall over Cena in their last showdown. Yeah. I mean,
he did.
The Rock, the Rock really did. I mean, listen, I know, Ty, I know you're a huge Rocky fan. The Rock's great, but the Rock being like this, like on the board character, like the first Raw on Netflix was very confusing to me. Like, obviously he came out as like the Rock, but he was like on the board and he's giving Cody all these props. I don't know. It's just like right after what happened. I don't know. It was just weird to me. I don't like how the Rock balances back and forth between being on the board and then is the final boss persona. And I think Ty is frozen or I'm frozen. One of us is frozen. I don't know who it is. So I'm just going to go back into YouTube. We have Boris. Raquel has become Kevin Nash. Give her the Wolfpack theme already. Big Sexy. Love that she got the name from him. Yeah, it was Ty. Ty dropped out. Unless I dropped out. I don't know. Maybe the internet's playing games on me right now. Someone in chat, can you let me know who has dropped out? Anyway, we are going to continue until I figure out what happened here. I'm going to check my text. This is a little weird. Nothing from Ty yet. But back to Monday Night Raw. Oh, here we go. We have Ty back. Hello. There he is.
Good thing that's holding secure, baby. It's part of the course this week, people. So I apologize. You might see that happen a bit more. I see there's some comments in there. We got, I don't know if you went to the Raquel has become Kevin Nash. Right. I completely see that, given her Wolfpack theme already. And yeah, I did drop out.
Yeah, I do. Thank you for noticing. No, because I was talking, and all of a sudden, like, you were completely frozen, and I don't know because obviously I have my internet issues sometimes. I didn't know if it was me that dropped out or you, so I'm talking to chat. Thank you, Boris. Shout out to Boris for letting me know that it was Ty and not myself. Because
Justin, just know in advance that it is me. I don't know what's happening. I think it's my receiver. Because like I said, I reset my router and everything, and it was happening with my side gig. So just this week is playing games with me. I just got to get past this week and move on. And this is
you look good now, though.
Yeah, for now. And in 5 minutes when I drop out, just keep talking to the fans. They'll chat it up. But yeah, just going back, I think Raquel deserves a championship too. I think it would be awesome to see the Judgment Day feud over the championship heading to WrestleMania. I think I'd like to see that crack happen and people take sides. Maybe that's Finn's out where he's like, you know what, this Judgment Day thing, we're not a cohesive unit anymore. I'm getting my own chance, and then he can step at Dom. I just think it works. I think if the Judgment Day kind of cracks in half, it would be perfect. But now that Raquel's not champion, she's not going to get that match against Liv at WrestleMania. So maybe it just happens organically now because they stepped in and she told them not to.
I kind of see, Now listen, I've eaten crow before saying that the Judgment Day is coming to an end probably 2 years ago.
So
And we say that they're the cockroaches that just won't die. They won't break up. I think it happens at WrestleMania. I think Raquel screws over Liv in the championship match. Whoever Liv decides, whether it be Stephanie Vaquer or whatnot, I think Raquel is going to turn face at WrestleMania. And I think that's where at least that part of the Judgment Day breaks up. I hope Finn is way gone before then. Stussy on YouTube. So in kayfabe, Hobbs, Laparca, and Iguana filled out their Rumble application before Finn Balor.
Bro, how does Mr. Iguana qualify? Finn's beat his ass so many times. How does Iguana get over Finn in kayfabe? So like that to me makes no sense. Who's Laparca? Why is he taking Finn's spot? I don't know. We do know they're promoting AAA. They want people to watch it. They're doing a good job promoting it. It just sucks that it was at the expense of Finn Balor. Hopefully they keep him. Let's be realistic. CM Punk, Finn, Elimination Chamber. Finn's obviously going to lose because they want CM Punk versus Roman. So will he probably get another title shot? Sure. Will it mean anything? No, because we know it's a filler title match heading into WrestleMania.
We discussed this on the quick count on Sunday, but Laparca, man, like I get Iguana. Iguana's been on SmackDown. He's been on NXT. He's been everywhere. Yeah. Laparca, sure. He actually was on Halloween Havoc. They brought him to NXT Halloween Havoc. I get it. But man, Laparca got no reaction whatsoever. It was brutal. It was crickets in Saudi Arabia. And I know Brie Bella was nervous. I mean, I listened to her recently, and she said that she didn't think that the Saudi fans would know her. And by God, did they? Like they completely knew her. The biggest pop of the night was Brie Bella and her doing the it kicks. But yeah, I mean, back to Stussy. Kayfabe, obviously, Hobbs, Laparca, and Iguana filled out their Rumble applications, but it's all got to be for Finn Balor finally just being fed up and just taking over. I'm hoping. I've been told, well, I haven't been told. I've read from obviously people at Body Slam. Finn Balor's in for a big singles push in 2026. So I'm here and I'm waiting for it because that guy deserves it.
Yeah, Celestine mentioned that it was 2 a.m. in Saudi when the men's Rumble happened. I was so confused. Why did they start it so late in Saudi? I didn't understand that. Like, what was the reason for them to go late in Saudi? I guess they didn't want the Rumble to be too early for the States. But you're going to make your hometown crowd stay from like, what was it? 4 hours? I think it was 4 hours, right? So 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. That's insane to me.
Yeah. I mean, I was curious also why SmackDown the night before or the day before for us started at noon Eastern. And then obviously the Rumble started past 2 p.m. Eastern. So I guess they didn't think people would be able to tune in at 12 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock, West Coast time. So they pushed it back a little bit.
Mimosas and Royal Rumble sound freaking great, man. On the West Coast in California, dude, come on. I'd be making sure I found the best brunch spot that I could be at, get some Royal Rumble on my phone, or maybe have them play it, log into my ESPN account. It's been freaking awesome morning. Are you kidding me? Then you have the whole day. That sounds like an epic Saturday. So I think they lost the battle on that one.
You say ESPN account. I say sign into your VPN account and log into Netflix. But I mean, hopefully we'll have a sponsorship soon with a VPN company. Not saying anything right now, but that's the route to go. If you're watching any PLEs in the future, just get a year membership to a VPN. You probably already have Netflix. I guarantee it. Cheapest way to go by far.
Yeah, I completely agree. I want to talk about some Oba Femi. He had a great showing at Royal Rumble. I don't think we even spoke about him that much on Sunday. Knocking out Braun Breaker right off the get-go. He was tied for the most eliminations on the night. But he shows up on Raw. destroys the Warriors. And on SmackDown just now, he destroyed Kit Wilson. The man is, I guess, obviously not signed. He's looking for a spot, and he's trying to destroy the competition, so it's easier for him to get a world title shot. What does this mean for him for WrestleMania? We're 2 months away. Do we get that Brock Oba match this year? How do you kind of put him in the fold? And how does he not get Elimination Chamber qualifier if he's not put in one?
I don't think he's gonna get put in a chamber qualifier. I don't know. I feel like for the next few weeks, they're just gonna have him do exactly what he's been doing. He's gonna be fine. They will get to. I mean, I'm assuming it's gonna be Brock and Oba at Mania, and then Gunther will retire Brock at SummerSlam in Minneapolis, Minnesota. That's just what I would do laid out wise. I wanted to bring this up. I'm more concerned after watching Monday Night Raw. I'm more concerned for the War Raiders. Like you were former Raw tag team champions, right? The Raw tag division already isn't great. And now you just got single-handedly squashed by Obafemi. I don't know if the War Raiders are on their way out. I don't know what's going on with them, but it felt like they're in trouble creative-wise.
Yeah, I felt the same way. The one thing that made me a little reassured was that this wasn't a match. He didn't squash them in a match. He didn't pin them. It wasn't Obafemi versus the War Raiders and Obafemi wins. We haven't seen squash matches in a very long time, and I've been very happy of that. I didn't want that. I hated that. I thought they were a waste when Vince would do that, especially when they brought in just local talent to get beat in 3 minutes. I think that was such a waste of space. From Long Island goes out, gets destroyed by a new superstar that's huge in 2 minutes. What does that do? Absolutely nothing. So I think they learned from that, and they're using superstars on the roster, which it does suck because you don't want to see these guys get destroyed, especially when the Raw tag division's already lacking, and then you're going to have them look diminished by Obafemi wrecking them. But again, I think they saved face by having it not a match. No one got pinned. They looked shocked, like it was a surprise. And then also with Kit Wilson, right? Like he's kind of got one of those bad gimmicks. I'm glad it wasn't Matt Cardona. Hopefully again next week it's not Matt Cardona getting squashed by Obafemi. I hope he's past that because I think he's done enough of that in his career. But Kit Wilson will bounce back. He's gonna call Oba a toxic man, right? And great, fine, it works. So as long as they do it right, as long as they they have him beat up people in the proper way. Like I said, not having matches is great. I'm not sure if the Kit Wilson Oba thing was a match or if it was just a beatdown, but I think they can save face by him just going out there and decimating people and not pinning them. Because if they're not pinned, they don't lose a match. It doesn't look that bad, in my opinion.
Fair point, fair take. Like tonight was, you said Kit Wilson, but that's one-on-one, whatever. This was literally a tag team that were former Raw tag team champions. That's just, it doesn't sit well with me. I don't know why. They used to be these brutes, and they literally, I know it wasn't a match, but they still got squashed by Obafemi. We have on YouTube Stussy6. I think Matt at least gets a chamber qualifying match. I mean, listen, I don't want to sound like a broken record. I am so happy for Matt Cardona. Obviously, Long Island born, Long Island represent. My boy, I loved his time as the indie god, everything on the indies, deathmatch king. So happy to see him back in WWE. One of the hardest workers in the whole company. I think any wrestler would tell you that. I know he's even said like, oh, you're going to complain about my booking. Oh, I'm on a dark match already. People are going to be nervous, but this is, he's back in WWE. That's all he wanted. As a fan of him, I want to see him get more. I know he deserves more. He deserves a good storyline. He deserves another title. Um, I would love to see him in a chamber qualifying match, but then again, I don't think I'm going to see him win. I want to see Matt Cardona start winning. I don't want to just he beat Kit Wilson on his return, and he hasn't won a match since. Yes, you're right, Stussy. Stussy just said on YouTube he's in the best shape of his career by far. He looks amazing. But once again, he returned in New York. I think it was Albany or Buffalo, one of the two. Tremendous pop, beats Kit Wilson, hasn't won since.
See, I could see him qualifying for Elimination Chamber. You know, they need people in there to lose, right? They do. And key in point, you know, he didn't have the greatest Rumble showing. He wasn't in the Rumble for that long. You know, he hasn't won since he debuted. So I think this would be a good opportunity to have him solidify himself as one of the big guys on the brand, win Elimination Chamber qualifier, and have a showing in the EC. Why not? I think it could possibly happen. I think it just depends on who he's going to have a match with against. I know we'll see it when they announce them. But I guess we'll see. But I think there is a good chance we see Matt Cardona in Elimination Chamber. I have some faith. I'm putting that out there.
I would love it. I mean, if you tell me that he's going to make the Elimination Chamber, sign me up now. I'll forget about everything that's happened to him so far.
Yeah.
But it just, I don't know. It doesn't, the future just doesn't look nice right now. And I'm hoping it can change at any moment, right? It can change at any moment. I feel like what's happening with him right now is what we always say with the NXT superstars. When you're coming in, you need to have a storyline. You need to have a plan for this person. I feel like they might have just brought Matt in because they knew that they wanted to bring him in. They wanted to get him signed. I don't think that they had a full-on plan for him. And now we're seeing the effects of that.
Well, I think they're not going to have a plan for him until post-WrestleMania, right? I think they've, as we've spoken about, they've kind of created their timeline WrestleMania. And where does Matt Cardona fit in, especially a new guy, right? That's why I think what we're seeing with Obafemi right now is, what do they do with Obafemi, right? Open the Rumble, and it's not Brock and Oba. I think that's what's going to happen until post-WrestleMania. So I think all the newer people on the brands aren't going to have really solidified spots unless they were kind of already planned to be a part of the road to we were making jokes that Cardona is still on JCW and wherever, I forget the other program. NWA. He's still showing up because it's pre-taped, right? So it was such a quick new thing that happened that I don't think they do have a plan for him. But at least they could attribute him into the Elimination Chamber. Maybe they can have him and Kit Wilson have maybe WrestleMania because it's 2 nights, right? They got to fill the card somehow. And I think if they book it right and they keep promoting this as a middle of the run match in the WrestleMania card one of the nights.
Yeah, I mean, I hope so. I need, maybe Sussy just said, maybe a multi-man match for the US title. I'm fine with that. Like, Cardona deserves another Mania match. Hell, Chelsea deserves a Mania match. Right now, Chelsea just lost tonight. She's not going to be in the Elimination Chamber. Now we have to find another road to WrestleMania for Chelsea. I mean, I don't know if they're going to end up going the route of them tagging and like having a mixed tag match at WrestleMania. I don't know, but they deserve something. So hey, we're on the road. We're here. We just got to take the drive and hope for the best for both of them.
Yeah, and as for the U.S. title match for Mania, at least, I mean, a lot of the IWC is backing on Trick Williams versus Carmelo Hayes, which I would love. I think that would be freaking awesome. You know, those two have headlined before for NXT, and to see that on the grandest stage of them all, I think they'd tear the house down. And I want a stipulation, right? We've seen Trick and Carmelo do it in singles matches. I would love Falls Count Anywhere, Steel Cage, tables match. I don't even care. Just make it something where they can just beat the crap out of each other and make it entertaining as hell. That's what I'm hoping for for the US title at WrestleMania.
Yeah, no, I'm completely with you. I mean, do you see, obviously at the rate that Carmelo Hayes is going right now with the United States Championship, do you see him dropping it before Mania, or do you see Carmelo Hayes walking in, continuing to defend every week in these open challenges up until WrestleMania?
Yeah, I think we either see him defend up until WrestleMania or Trick wins it sometime in the next month and kind of holds it hostage until Carmelo and him face off at WrestleMania. That's how I kind of see it going down. But I'd rather Carmelo hold on to it till, an open challenge at Mania and Trick come out to fight him. But even with that, right? If Carmelo Hayes can have an open challenge match at WrestleMania, the sky's the limit to who can wrestle him, right? Anyone.
Oh no, he dropped out again, people. We are going to
I'm still here.
Oh, there you are. There you are.
I'm still here.
There you are. There you are. I see you. All right, you're good. You're good. I didn't hear anything you said, though. I'm not gonna lie.
So the only problem with this happening right now is I'm getting multiple recording errors. So who knows what this means for this to be posted after this live stream. Just a heads up. Anyway, for the people watching live, what I was saying was, if Carmelo Hayes can have an open challenge at WrestleMania, I think, it'd be awesome if Trick answered it, but the sky's the limit to see who can answer that. Bring a legend, bring anyone in. Like that could be epic. Can't believe Carmelo wasn't in the Rumble either. Maybe I said that on dude. I said that exactly on Sunday. The roster is so big that why not? What's another 10 minutes, right? What's another 10 minutes? It's already a long PLE. Who gives a shit? Add 10 more minutes, 20 minutes if you want to count the Women's Rumble. Add 40 people because we've seen it. The Greater Rumble in Saudi how many years ago when Braun Strowman won? Do it. Is
that where Titus O'Neil almost died?
Yeah, when he flew under the apron. Yeah. But yeah, I think they need to do that. But again, I would love to see some huge name that we haven't seen in a while come out and fight Carmelo Hayes for the United States Championship for the Open Challenge at WrestleMania. Either that or him versus Trick. That's what my bank is for the US title.
Yeah, no, 40 men. I mean, we've seen it. It obviously can be done. I just don't know if they'll go back to it because I do think that they caught a lot of flack the last time that they did it. But like you said, that there's just so much talent. It's an abundance of riches that honestly both WWE and AEW have right now, to where they don't have TV time, and that's why this is what we get frustrated about. I mean, obviously everyone's still getting paid, which is the best part, but we want to see, these workers work. So I mean, thank God, I guess there are 3-4 major promotions now, because it just gives the wrestlers more leeway to negotiate contracts and show up on TV. So I mean, I love all that. I wanted to get to NXT because we have a new NXT.
Yep, you read my mind.
Heavyweight champion. Joe Hendry is the new TNA NXT World Heavyweight Champion after one hell of a ladder match. My God, was that an awesome main event for a random NXT Tuesday.
In Saudi and everything. Yeah, again, 30 people. I wish Alistair was in there. I wish a lot of guys were in there. I'm curious to know who took his spot last minute. It's kind of weird just to toss him out for something. But anyway, Joe Hendry, new NXT champion, epic. I did not think WWE was going to pull the trigger on a Joe Hendry NXT champion. I kind of foresaw them keeping his gimmicky self around, that they didn't take him too seriously. We saw what happened at WrestleMania. Granted, it was a great WrestleMania moment between him and Randy, but Randy destroyed the TNA champion that was Joe Hendry last year. So they obviously have a lot of stock in Joe Hendry. I'm hoping to see a more serious side, a more, a fighting side to Joe Hendry than just the comedy act that we've seen. And not like he's a comedy act, but when you add the when he appears and there he is, and then the the concerts, right? And The Rock was, famous for concerts, but The Rock, super established himself way before he was doing concerts. So I hope this gets some more seriousness. He's put the work in. And I used to be a Hendry skeptic, I guess you could call me, but I'm full force behind him. It took me maybe a month or two to finally get, full force behind him. So I wish him the luck. I hope he kicks butt. I hope he does a great job as NXT champion. And I hope that kind of elevates him a bit more.
And talk about making a guy look as strong as he possibly could with losing in Keanu Carver. My dude is a freak.
Yeah, he's an animal.
He is an animal, Keanu Carver. And even the bump that he took, his last bump to send him through the ladder, just, dude, he is going to be something in NXT. So I just wanted to give him a nice shout out because, my God, Keanu Carver, he's the real fucking deal. But back to Joe Hendry. I mean, we're told that I saw him on SmackDown. I saw him, I was like, oh, he's going to be a SmackDown superstar now. He's got the call up, and now he's the NXT champion. So I guess that is put on the back burner for now. I think we're going to see Joe Hendry run with this title probably up until Stand and Deliver, where then I will probably say Joe Hendry will lose the NXT world title, and then he will finally get his long-awaited call up to SmackDown. But I could have sworn he was called up like a month ago, and now he's back in NXT because you say his name and he appears wherever.
It's funny because I think he was on SmackDown for like 2 or 3 straight weeks, wasn't he?
I think so. It was something like that.
I guess they never officially announced that he was part of the brand, but hey, I'll watch Joe Hendry wherever you put him. So, I mean, put a flashy championship around his waist. I'm cool with that too. I'm curious to know if Keanu Carver is going to be, the next one to take it, because how do you stay away from him being in the main title picture? How do you keep him from the championship, especially for someone with that intensity? Kind of like, he's not as big as Oba, but he's like to me, he's a mix between Oba and Braun Breaker. And to me, that's
perfect.
And to me, it's a dangerous combination. So that kind of power and athleticism and skill, just like, how do you keep him from that championship for long? So to me, I think we see that match at Stand Deliver.
Yeah, it's so scary with Keanu Carver because he's so new.
Yeah,
and he's so green. But you're right. Like, once it's like Oba, you're exactly right. Like, once you get that title on him, how do you get it off him?
Yeah,
and that's just, it's kind of the same thing. We have the wrestling junkies podcast.
Hey,
what is up, guys? Yo.
Cheers, my man.
You will see something in the near future with the Wrestling Junkies podcast and the 10 Count podcast. We're going to be looking to do some collaborations, some weekend collaborations. But yeah, stay tuned for that. Thank you for joining us tonight. But yeah, it's Keanu Carver, man. Like, just how strong and how dominant he looks. You're right. Like, once that title's on him, unless there's like a major screw job or you need like 4 guys to take that title off him, I don't see it happening. So you got to be careful with that guy, because once that title's on him, you have to expect like an Oba-like run. Like, hey, Oba lost the title to Ricky Saints. It can happen. But I mean, I guess like any night, anything can happen. But man, did he look strong, dude. He came out looking incredible.
Yeah, I just want a Keanu Carver versus Braun Breaker match now, because ever since I've seen him, that's like, I would love to see them tear each other apart. The hits and the spots that would come from that match would be epic. I'm salivating already, just trying to hope for that match in the future. But yeah, dude, NXT, especially now on the men's side, I think is getting to a better spot. We've spoken about how the women have been the workhorses, especially on Raw and on SmackDown. We saw it, on the cards, on PLEs. They've been taking over. We've seen it on NXT, but I think we're getting to a spot where we're getting some men step up and shine shine the spotlight on them. I think they know that there's areas to fill in, and how do you not give it your all to take that brass ring at NXT right now? Because you know where that leads. Look at Trick. Look at Javon Evans. Look at Oba. Javon never won. I don't think he ever won a championship in NXT. He was there very quickly. Look at him now. He's on Raw, and they have so much, stock in him as well. So all you need to do in NXT is when there is a spot, grab that freaking brass ring, show what you can do, and you will be on that main roster as soon as they want people up there. So I think we're seeing that. I think the men realize that the competition is there. And, it's theirs to lose and theirs to win. So I'm excited to see how NXT continues to play out.
I mean, hell, Javon might not have won a championship in NXT, but he was just the Iron freaking Survivor in the fucking Royal Rumble. I mean, talk about a man just working and the company putting full faith in the guy. It's incredible. I don't even know if he's old enough to have a drink yet. I think he's still 20. It's insane.
It's hysterical. It's hysterical.
It's insane.
But also, talking about NXT, shout out to my man, the GOAT, Ethan Page, for real recognizing real over there on the X. I appreciate the retweet, my man. Dude, if you ever want to come on the pod, jump on. We're ready for you. We are all Ego fans. We want to chat with you. So, hey, just throwing it out there.
Stussy says the Iron Man with no eliminations, though. Fair. It's a fair point, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Javon, I mean,
hey, the Royal Rumble isn't about eliminations. It's surviving. So sometimes all you need to do is wait for that one elimination, number 29, number 29, just to shoot.
Toss him over, and all of a sudden you're going to Mania.
WrestleMania.
Yes, and yes. What else you want to chit chat about before we wrap it up?
Give the Cody line. What do you want to talk about?
So what do you want to talk about?
Yeah, I was excited to see Raw in some capacity, next to Liv. I thought that was awesome. I can't wait to see him back in full action.
Yeah, I hope it's soon. I know that they've been sheltering Dom and his injury. Obviously, he's still the AAA mega champion, so he's going to have to defend that sooner rather than later. But it was good to see him. He looked good. I'm assuming he's probably closer to ready to go than he is not, because they brought him back to TV. Dirty Dom's the man. Dirty Dom's incredible.
I have a side question.
Okay.
When did WWE bring back Main Event?
It's been on isn't it on Tubi or
it's on YouTube.
It's on YouTube. It's on YouTube now. It's their the dark matches before the live tapings.
Okay, so that's what they do. All right.
Yeah.
So that's cool. It's a lot of Raw tag teams. Rusev is on there. That's great against Joaquin Wilde. I see the Creed brothers versus the Alpha Academy. Good warm-up match before the Usos. Great. And then I see the Motor City Machine Guns versus, the Americanos. What the hell are they doing with tag teams right now? If we rewind 1 year ago, and I say it all the time, and I feel like a broken record, SmackDown was like the golden age of tag team wrestling. Like, that was the main reason why I wanted to watch the Motor City Machine Guns. DIY. What happened? Why did they move away from tag teams? Granted, the Wyatt stuff and the MFTs kind of sold me after the MFTs won the tag titles. The promo the next following week, it was last week, was awesome between the MFTs and the Wyatt Six. I thought it was epic. But why did we just leave that behind? That's why Tommaso Ciampa's gone. That's why he's the TNT champion right now.
Yeah.
What the hell? Why are they just doing tag matches on the dark matches? My mind has blown because of this.
But I mean, I'll be the devil on your shoulder, and I'll say, like, I'll be the booker. Like, have they? I know it's all, you need the writers to help, but truthfully, do you believe any of those tag teams that you just mentioned that have been on main event? Do you believe that they have earned a match on, let's say, Monday Night Raw?
The Motor City Machine Guns, 1,000%.
Motor City, yeah, but I'm talking about like the Americanos and the Creed brothers. Like, the Creed brothers haven't been on TV since Gable got hurt, pretty much. Like, they're there with Ivy Nile occasionally, right?
Yeah, but to me, like, that's not using them properly, right? You can book behind Chad Gable, but if a Chad Gable gets hurt, like we saw, what do you do with them? And if you're not that high on them, why are they still around? Why are they just in dark matches? Why are they not a part of the show? They're barely there with Ivy. You see them walk around with her, but that's their highlight on Raw is holding, I guess, Ivy's bags, walking to the ringside or something. But why is the number one contenders for the world tag titles doing a main event against the number one contenders? I get it's the Alpha Academy, but why are they number one contenders at that point?
Fair. It's a fair point. You have Stussy on YouTube saying, did you see that the original King of the Ring final was going to be Cody versus Rusev? I did not see that.
I did not see that either.
Listen, Rusev is another one, man. I mean,
no words.
You can get into it, and it's just, I loved what he was doing with Sheamus. And then, after that, it's just kind of fallen by the wayside. He took a 16-hour flight over to Saudi Arabia. I know he got paid, but he just took a 16-hour flight to enter 4 or 5 in the Rumble and get tossed by Oba.
Dude, it's nuts. And it's funny because, like, it's not funny, but also funny at the same time, because the roster's so big, right? And you go out of your way to bring some people back, like a Rusev, right? You hype them up. You do kind of Redeemer gimmick that we kind of saw on AEW or Reclaimer, whatever you call it. But then we get nothing. But so why do you bring him back? What's the point? I don't know. It's a strange.
Yeah, no, it's strange, and you are lagging again. I'm trying so hard to understand you through the lag. But we are at the hour mark, so we are going to call it. Thank you all, 412 of you. Ty, we might have to switch to Friday nights.
Holy crap. We might need to try later on Wednesdays and see how that pans out.
Yeah, we might have to try later on Wednesdays.
I'm sorry for the bigger crowd that my internet was trash. This never happens.
No, it never happens.
So what I'm going to do is going to find another receiver for my computer so my internet stays good. So I appreciate you guys for sticking through. I appreciate you guys dealing with my internet issues. And I will try to promise that this will not happen next time.
Hey, it's the internet. It happens. I mean, shit happens to me all the time. But let's ring that bell, because this 10 count is over. Once again, thank you all, 412 of you that are hanging out with us live right now on a Friday night at 10:45 p.m. Eastern. We appreciate you guys all. We will be back here on Sunday for a quick count. I don't know what we're going to talk about, because usually we talk about SmackDown. We'll talk about SmackDown. And if you guys join us, we'll just chit chat again and we will have a blast. So here on Sunday afternoon, probably not this time, but probably Sunday afternoon, take a look on all socials for us. And we will be here live. Please subscribe to the Body Slam Patreon for exclusive breaking news, interviews, podcasts, and more. The link is down below scrolling right now. If you are watching live, it is patreon.com/bodyslam PWN, $5 a month. And it's a cup of coffee and it's just a great time. Also join the Discord. The Discord is always popping off over there. everyone, all the admins are doing an incredible job over there. Give Body Slam a follow on all socials at Body Slam Net. And then bottom left, you have our socials at the 10 Count Pod on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, YouTube, you name it. We're there, especially YouTube. Go give us a like, go give us a subscribe, go give us a comment. If you're on this video, just go onto YouTube, comment your favorite moment so far of 2026. Let's just see if you guys are actually here listening. You can find me on X at JStar02. You can find Ty at TLP_maximum. Once again, thank you all so much. It has been a pleasure. And until Sunday, enjoy your weekend, guys. It's supposed to be really, really cold here tomorrow on the East Coast. So bundle up if you're over here on the East Coast, and we will see you guys on Sunday. Until then, we're out.
Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you.